Hello and welcome. This is a slightly different review from my other reviews on this channel, simply because usually I'll talk about laptops, and when I talk about laptops, I'll talk about battery life, panels, keyboard, trackpad, weight, thinness, and stuff like that. But this one here, as you can see, obviously, is not a laptop, it's a desktop PC, and I never reviewed desktop PC before. This one is called ThinkCentre Neo Ultra, and it does kinda look like a Mac Studio, right? But that's maybe not a bad thing, actually. You see, most Windows PCs or mini PCs, they kinda look the same, right? Kinda boring and too technical and just too intimidating. This one has a very minimal, user-friendly design. Yes, there are many elements, if not all, borrowed from Mac Studio, but I guess, as I said, it's not a bad thing necessarily. So for this video, I want to do something different. I don't want to just use this product for, I don't know, a week or two and then write a review and call it a day. I actually use it for designing a new logo for Decoding Labs for this YouTube channel. I also used it for gaming almost daily. I used it for some of my Blender projects and stuff like that. And it did handle those tasks very well, I have to say. It's a tiny PC, it's a small PC as you can see here. It's not as small as Mac Mini, but it's still fairly small. It's more size of the Mac Studio, but it packs surprising amount of performance. But I'm gonna talk about performance later. Let's just kick off. Let me explain why this is my new favorite Windows PC. Well, first of all, as I said, it's very minimal, very clean. There is some branding at the top here that says ThinkCentre, and the front it says Lenovo. But other than that, there are no crazy stickers or no crazy design elements. It's very minimal and very functional at the same time. You see, this design here is not just pretty and minimal, but very purposeful at the same time. This cutout here at the top are actually intake fans that actually suck in the cold air, and then hot air is being exhausted from the rear here. And I think that's a very smart design. If you look at the bottom here, there are also some fans here. So it intakes the air from the bottom and the top here, and it exhausts all the hot air from the rear here. It's a 3.6 liter mini PC, slightly larger than your typical mini PC, but it's still fairly small and it doesn't take up too much space on your desk. It has a built-in 350 watt power supply, which is great because you don't have a separate power brick. And if you want to take this one with you on, I don't know, photo shoot session or something like that in the field, you can take it with you, you can put it in your backpack just with a single cable and you are good to go. In terms of specs, this test unit here has i7-14700, 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM, RTX 4060, but it's actually a desktop RTX 4060, not a laptop version, which is great to see. Wi-Fi 6E and of course Bluetooth 5.3. However, if that's not enough for you, you can get all the way up to i9-14900 with the V Pro. You can also add discrete NPU card. In terms of memory, you can go up to 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM at 4800 MHz. You can also configure two separate SSDs, which each can go up to 2 TB. You can also opt in for Wi-Fi 6E, but you can also skip on it if your setup only requires wired connection. In the box, there's also a keyboard and the mouse included, but I personally would give those a pass. They're very basic, but it's nice that Lenovo includes something to get you started with. And check this out. If you, for some reason, want, you can even add a VGA port, second rear COM port. You can also add more display ports, and you can also add Kensington lock cable if you are worried that someone would nick your Neo Ultra. And this is where Neo Ultra really shines. You can make it your own according to your needs. Graphic designer might not need same specs and ports as 3D artist or STEM student, for example. And by the way, fully spec'd out, Neo Ultra will set you back around $3,000, which is not bad if you are just starting out on freelance business and need your first Windows PC that can do some heavy lifting. Right, I already hinted on rather generous port situation, so let's have a look. In the front, we have USB-C, which goes up to 20 gigabits per second, two USB-A's with up to 10 gigabits per second, and audio jack. On the rear, situation is quite busy. We have two USB-A's with up to 10 gigabits per second, another two USB-A's with up to 5 gigabits per second, HDMI 2.1, DisplayPort 1.4, of course the Ethernet port RJ45, another HDMI 2.1, And of course, then there are those optional ports which I mentioned before that you can configure while you're configuring your Neo Ultra on Lenovo.com. I think it's safe to say that considering its form factor, this little bad boy packs tons of performance. There is, however, one thing I have to address, and that's the fan noise. You see, fan noise can be very distracting. Based on my testing, it's mainly coming from the fan on the CPU, and during heavy loads and during gaming, it can go all the way up to 50 decibels, which is a lot, to be honest. Fan noise aside, I mentioned that I actually used Neo Ultra for some 3D modeling, photo editing, and even design new Decoding Labs logo. Of course, those are not the most demanding tasks, but nevertheless, Neo Ultra handled them with a breeze. And then I also used it for gaming. I mean, I had to. It's not designed for gaming, but come on, it has 4060 in it. It can run all your favorite AAA games without breaking a sweat, such as Cyberpunk 2077, yes, with ray tracing on, Elden Ring, Battlefield games, Witcher 3 and others. Some games hit over 120 FPS and others just above 60 FPS on high settings, which is respectable considering this is not a gaming PC. To get inside, all you need to do is turn it upside down, remove these 4 feet, then remove 4 screws which are hidden underneath, and you have immediate access to 2 RAM slots and 2 SSD slots, which is great to see, especially considering the competition from Apple, well, won't let you do any upgrades down the line. This video is sponsored by Ryan London. Ryan London sent us few products to check out and I was amazed. I've been looking for a replacement for my old leather case for iPhone for ages since Apple stopped making their own leather cases. In the past year, I tried other brands, but there were always some kind of compromise in terms of design. But with Ryan London cases, you get genuine leather, which smells fantastic. It really snags your iPhone around. And just look at it. It has fantastic build quality, true craftsmanship here. The buttons are nice and tactile. There are no mushy buttons. They come with more finishes, as you can see here. And of course, for iPhone 16 lineup, you also get the cutout for your camera controls. Beautiful products, I do love them. They didn't tell me what to say about the products, they just sent me the products to check them out. And I was genuinely surprised by the build quality and by the sheer quality of the product. They're fantastic and I'm gonna be using them from now on. They also sent us some MacBook sleeves, which are also, you guessed it, made of genuine leather. And they're just so robust and so thick. Like they didn't cheap out on anything, there are no corners cut here. They're just fantastic. I'm gonna put on some B-rolls as well for you to check out, but yeah, again, thanks Ryan London for sponsoring this section of video. Now, since I cannot do any battery life test here, I ran some Cinebench benchmarks, so let's have a look. Cinebench R23 CPU multi-score 22,945. CPU single core 1,988. In PC Mark 10, the total score was 8,273. In Geekbench 6, single core 2,812, multi-core 13,927, and the OpenCL score was 105,072. Now there's a few more benchmarks here, so feel free to pause the video if you want to check them out. So now let's just summarize everything that I learned about Neo Ultra after using it for almost 2 months now for various tasks. So let's talk about negative first, okay? Fan noise can be a serious issue, especially if you're trying to record some audio or are, for example, streaming live. This product could really benefit from our platform, and there's also no AMD option, which is a shame. I personally think that ARM CPU would be fantastic for this form factor. They could probably go even smaller and then we wouldn't have issues with the fan noise. There is no Thunderbolt 4. Yes, there is one USB-C on the front, but it's not Thunderbolt 4. And there is no USB-C or Thunderbolt on the rear. So if you want to connect your monitor, for example, via USB-C, you have to use a dongle or just good old HDMI. Positives: beautiful, compact, minimalistic design, excellent build quality, plenty of ports on front but also on the rear, plenty to choose from during configuration, and then of course the upgradability down the line. Well, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think of ThinkCentre Neo Ultra. Would you buy this product? Would you use this product? What would you use this product for? Would you use it for photography, graphic design, 3D modeling, gaming? I don't know what. Let me know. I'm really curious. Some people are saying the desktop is dead, it's being replaced by laptops because laptops are just getting so powerful these days. But I think there's still place for these kind of desktops, besides gaming PCs, of course. I think this is a brilliant product. I do like it a lot. I hope Lenovo could do something with the fan noise, or maybe introduce AMD or Qualcomm version of this product. That would be great to see. I'll be curious to test that. But for now, this is a good start. It's a big leap forward. They finally don't look like the typical boring desktops. So yeah, thumbs up from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.